Okay, guys. Wanted to take a minute and yes, hello. I love you, Maggie. Yes. Wanted to take a minute and go ahead and announce that BLC Cleaning is the winner of our 2,200 subscribers. He was number 2,200, so uh, this is fireworks, something. Okay. Email me your address, and I will get that tactical ninja tape mailed off to you on my dime. So, congratulations. You're awesome. Now, that being said, wanted to go ahead and touch on training a little bit. Some of you guys have emailed me and asked me regarding putting events together. What's the 2017 schedule and so on and so forth. What we're looking to do right now is probably get some individuals to host events. Once we have a host for the event, we will put it up on the 2017 schedule, and we'll see about advertising it on the website and on the YouTube channel to get the slots filled and go ahead and start the training. Probably be a 1 to 2 day seminar, something like that, depending on what the host is looking to set up, and then we'll gear it towards that. So if you want, if that's something that you're interested in, email me and I'll give you some of the requirements, some of the things that we need to have access to in order to be able to do the training. So that being said, there is a fast food philosophy that's going on regarding training right now, and it's not just in combatives. It's also it pervades our entire culture. One thing in particular is like in the medical field, you go into the doctor and tell him you have a headache, and he gives you an aspirin or something like that. Well, you're not getting the aspirin because you have an aspirin deficiency. That's not why you have a headache. You're being given the aspirin to mask a problem that still is ongoing regardless of the aspirin. The same thing is going on in the combatives world. There's a whole mindset that is going on out there that is really just geared towards, if this guy does this, then you do that, and it's completely not based in reality. Most of the defensive tactics programs that I've seen in the law enforcement realm, most of the combatives programs that I've seen in the military realm have really kind of been based on, a lot of the earlier ones were based on this type of philosophy, and they've since gradually been starting to improve and get better and utilize things like force on force and so on and so forth. My recommendation, you can train with whomever you like. I recommend that if you don't train with me, train with somebody. You should know some kind of combative. You should have some sort of self-defense capability. But if you're going to train with somebody, make sure it utilizes realism. Make sure it utilizes force on force, non-scripted type scenarios. That's really the thing that is going to be beneficial. The purpose of training is to make those mistakes. If you're not making mistakes in training, then you're not learning. All you're doing is validating information that you already had. When you lose, you learn. So it's better to do that in a training environment than it is in reality. So make sure that your training utilizes non-scripted force on force and that you become proficient at it. Now, one of the other questions that was asked was with regards to disability and their ability to participate in combatives. Look, anybody can participate in combatives. Obviously, depending on the level of your disability, is going to depend on what you can and can't do. There is if you go back to, I think it was part 2 of the personal vulnerability assessment, one of the things that we discussed was kind of 8 key different areas that you need to focus on as far as combatives to become well-rounded and all-encompassing. If you're not able to remain mobile, it just means that in other areas you're going to have to become that much more proficient to make up that gap. So if I'm not able to actually get away from a threat, it means that I'm going to have to make up for it with awareness so that I can not put myself in possible positions of being threatened. So it also means that I'll have to make up that gap with potential tools. So becoming more proficient at firearms or knife or whatever it is, whatever tools that I happen to utilize and carry on my person on an everyday basis, I'll have to become that much more proficient at. So just keep that in mind. No disability does not mean that you're restricted from combatives, but it might mean that certain aspects of combatives you're limited. So you'll have to kind of make up for that in other areas. So anyway, all right, you guys train hard.